What is going on, everybody? Morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day this finds you. All right. Thanks, Blake. Much appreciated. Cheers. How's everybody doing? It feels as though I haven't been here like in quite some time. It feels like weeks have gone by. Maybe a week. Got this new mic set up. Somebody had mentioned at GameholeCon that could use a shock absorber on my mic. So I put one on. Not sure I like this one. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Huh? This fine October, last stream for October. Last stream for the Wisconsin fall, and then next week will be winter, just so you guys know. I don't know if you got the update or not. Everybody's talking about how dark it is in the morning. Yeah, pretty soon that'll change, right? Is it next week? Week after, I think, right? Delay light savings time. Laramie, first to rise and shine. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Shambot, good to see you. Joe, Hoos, Harrigan, good morning. Matt, good to see you. Wayne, Roger, Todd. Look at this, Nubis. Good to see you, Nubis. Good afternoon. Gabe, thanks for letting me know you're here. Good to see you. Victor, good to see you. It's people I haven't seen in 4 days, 7 days. Phil, good to see you. Morning. Orcus Dorcas, what are you doing here? I know. You had to how uncivilized. You had to read EN World. That's hilarious. Oh man. Alrighty. What should we start off with? So for those of you that weren't in the know, last week, me and I don't know, 4,000 of my friends or something like that. I don't even know what the attendance records are or the attendance numbers for a GameholeCon. I was at GameholeCon, local con here in Madison, Wisconsin. If you can get to it, great. For those of you that made the trip, whether it be like a mile down the road or a few hundred miles down the road, thanks for coming out. It was really good to see you guys. I really needed it because life has been a pile of a muck that, the cure is gaming with friends, right? When you feel down, game with friends. So thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. Good to see everybody. Good times were had, I hope, by everybody. So I don't want to go into a big con recap because I know how fun those can be for those that weren't there, but I will sum up and some people have asked me, and even the ones that were there had asked me, was it a good con? Did you have a good time? What'd you do? What'd you run? What'd you play? Let's see, where should I start? I ran Deathmatch Island twice. First one on Thursday at about 9:00. It was bumpy. It was rough, but I played with friends. I knew everybody at the table. All of them were very gracious in what was going on. I had a cat that was sick, and I was getting text messages, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a call. So I was being, sidetracked by and interrupted by personal things and personal life. And they were all very understanding. So I had Deathmatch Island, had all the pamphlets. We did character generation, and a few rules I got messed up and didn't go as smoothly as I wanted it to be. But everybody was very yeah, it was great. It's good time, good fun. And then right after that, I had Star Wars WAG D6 Sparks. So if you don't know who the Sparks gang are, they've been around since 1995. Crazy. it's an organized play Star Wars D6. They, I think, used to have other games, but Star Wars has always been their flagship, and it's always been WEG, right? West End Games. It was, I showed up and said, hey, look, here's a situation. I got some personal stuff going on. So if I'm a problem, just let me know and I'll leave the game. Nope, that's fine. Hey, I got to leave a little early. Got some personal stuff going on. Oh, nope, that's fine, but I won't be able to sign your sheet. What I have come to realize is that organized play is not for me anymore. So I was telling people that it was like 6 of us, me and one other person were noobs. So pre-gens, pick a pre-gen, fill in some blanks. Hey, this is what organized play is about. Here's your character record sheet. And then I realized that the other 4, probably follow these guys around from con to con and have characters that have played in probably, 20 to 50 games sessions. So my skill checks were like, 3d6 coming to like 15, 12-ish around there. And then everybody else was like above 25, 30. I think there was one roll that hit like 47 on a check. So no tiered. Like some of us have played organized play and it's been tiered, right? Like this is a tier 1 game, which is levels 1 through 3, and a tier 2 game is, levels 4 through 6. Yeah, no. Not good Star Wars like aficionados. Like they were all about the Star Wars. Just not like my jam. Like we were en route to a place that would take us 3 days. Oh, you can train and learn a new skill during those 3 days, which is great. But in a con game, it was, dude, let's just get into the Star Wars. Like I don't want to deal with all the how much money I can make and how many days go by and I can learn a new skill, put it on my record sheet, show up to the next one. For those of you that love that stuff, I highly recommend Sparks. The Sparks people that run with it. And then that evening, we played off books Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So the first off book game, Harrigan ran Into the Odd. So first time playing Into the Odd. I can't remember my character's name, but wearing a bowler and walking through the Bastion land, I guess, right? Bastion, and a lot of harumph. So that was good. So that was Thursday. Friday, had an 8 a.m. game, bailed. There's no way I'm going to hit an 8 a.m. game. Like, no, unless I'm there at the con, walking across the parking lot, it's just not going to happen. So I had to do personal things, and so 8 a.m. is just not going to work. So I bailed, which sucked. Note to self. So takeaways: organized play, not for Sean at a con game. 8 a.m. games, no bueno. Don't even try it. Then I ran Deathmatch Island again for 4 people, and I knew everybody but one. And it went much, much better. The presentation, like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to go over. And this is how the mechanics work. Like, all that was much more succinct. So thanks for the first group as my guinea pigs that helped me improve. Thank you. That was fun. Deathmatch Island's a fun con game, I think. It's not really made for a one-shot, but they do have a one-shot flow chart. Like, hey, if you're going to run this in a one-shot, here's how we recommend doing it. So it was good. It was fun. If you're not familiar with Deathmatch Island, it's based off of Aegon by John Harper. The system that they pulled out of Aegon is called the Paragon system. And I'll tell you what, if you are not good at like coming up with your own scene and the details and narrating it, then it might not be the game for you. If you are, hey, I want to check this place for traps. Is there anything else I can find? That is not the game, okay? It's very much taking a huge lift off the game master. Like, literally, the game master kind of sets what's in front of the players. And then as they do their die pool and then they roll it, it goes from least successful to most successful. Not even successful, lowest result to best result. And they get to narrate in that sequence. So the best result gets to take into consideration everything everybody else has ever kind of said and laid down and narrate it that way. And you're playing it on a screwy, Running Man, Lost, Squid Game type of scenario. So Deathmatch Island went really well. Great. Big time. That was in the afternoon. So then food. And then that evening, Gabe, I believe, ran Swords and Wizardry. And he just posted on Itch the scenario. And so he was writing for a contest and was like The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and using that. And he wrote it for Against the Dark Master, which is out there on Itch now and finalized, that you can go and check out. And it was good. And so he just kind of used the scenario and plot for Swords and Wizardry game, which was great and fun. Okay, so that was Friday. Saturday, another 8 a.m. game. No, not going to happen. So the first one was called Cthulhu, no thanks. Second one was Troika. And then Saturday, I don't think anything was really going on. I ran that late afternoon. I ran OSR, so Outcast Silver Raiders, bumpy. I've come to realize, so second takeaway, did I say this? Maybe I said this already. Running a game for the first time, always going to be bumpy for this guy. It's just, yeah. The guy said it was a good time. I think we went through character generation and really played for like an hour, and it was like one kind of encounter, and that was pretty much it. So wasn't that bumpy, was good. Harrigan's, I got to say, many people very gracious. I appreciate it. Thanks, Harrigan. So that was, hey, what's up, Jason? Good to see you. So that was Saturday. What else am I missing? Oh, and then the soiree, right? Saturday night we have a soiree, and that was fun. Always good to see. It was a little bit smaller this year. I don't think I publicized it as much because I think last year I didn't play as much, so I just spread the word. And so, it was good. It was fun. It was fun. Seemed more intimate, I think. Last year was a little more, that wasn't chaotic necessarily, but there was just more people that had come and gone over the, 6 hours that we were sitting around whooping it up, if you will. Laramie says, "Oh, thanks everyone for telling me to get into Carl Kiesler's game. If you're ever at a con and Carl Kiesler's on the menu, try to get into one of his games at least once. He runs a fantastic Savage Worlds game. And if you hate Savage Worlds, then it may not be for you. But if you like it, even if you don't like Savage Worlds, just get in his game. It's a fun game. Lots of set pieces, really cool. He knows the system really well. Runs some pretty decent mashups, and that GameholeCon, he went into like the Western game that I think is under his authorship and design, actually. Most important, do you have a con hall, and if so, what is it? That's a good question. So I won, right? So GameholeCon, if you game master, your name gets thrown into a virtual hat, and they draw names every day, throughout the day. They have a big prize table full of books and RPGs and stuff. And so every once in a while, I got to go by the whiteboard, or somebody will tell you like, hey, I saw your name up there, and then you get to pick from the table. And the first time, this is my 10th year, and I've never won squat. My name has never come up until this year. So I was with Harrigan and looking at them. The one that stood out, so they had new players' handbooks, D&D players' handbooks, and they were gone, right? Those probably got scooped up right away. I think they had Pathfinder, not the new core, but Pathfinder 2E, like SRD or OSR, the OGL version, right? That was in there. Beast of a book. And I'm thinking, well, I could pick this up for free and have it in my repertoire, if you will. And soirée repertoire is French, parlez-vous. And I picked it up and I had it in my hands. And then there was a Call of Cthulhu book. And Harrigan's like, that Call of Cthulhu book, I've heard good things about it. Good reviews. And I don't play a ton of Call of Cthulhu, but then I don't play a lot of Pathfinder either. So I opted for the Call of Cthulhu with it Arkham. I forgot the title. Hold on. Shush you. And now I can't find the damn thing. Hold on. All right, this one. So Arkham, right? This is like, I think, a reprint, right? They brought it up to speed. So I picked that one up. And then I picked up Orbital Blues. And then I picked up Monster Overhaul, which is, I think, one of the few books that says, go ahead and write in it. Like, what? Blasphemy. And then I picked up, I think, 2 sets of dice, at least, maybe 2 or 3. I picked up the D6s, the revolver D6s that I picked up. So that was my haul. Relatively modest, but nonetheless. So that's what I picked up. I was going to consider Electric State, but then I'm like, I'm going to wait and hold off on that. Well, you also had Paranoid, Ghostbusters, Men in Black, Hercules, Xena, Torg. Yes. William Thorpe. Good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, No Tears is rough. What's up, Hobbsy? Good to see you. Reading Aid. Sundance, a.k.a. Sundance. So this whole time, your Sundance has been in the chat as Reading Aid. That's hilarious. Good to see you at the con. Thanks for coming out. It's good to meet you. It was because of Jackaroo, Sean. Yeah, Harrigan played an Australian fitness nut for Deathmatch Island who is about 5 foot tall and built like a brick shithouse. They're just... just so in Deathmatch Island, you pick your uniforms. Like, what kind of uniforms are you guys going to choose? You pick the jumper, like the full color jumper. Or you could do like shorts and a t-shirt or a pulley or a hoodie, whatever. And they picked overalls, right? Bib overalls, and some of the farmers might wear, except they were shorts. So they cut like short bib overalls, no shirt. And Jackaroo had the kind of the Daisy Dukes length shorts where the linings of the pockets would stick out below, you know. So that was Jackaroo. And I can't do the voice, but you gotta just think of the most obnoxious. Blake, you might know this guy. He's a real guy, wasn't he? Here again, like modeled after a real. You're inspired by a real person. Morning, good to see you, Kevin. Laramie, am I avoiding you? What I miss? Did you ask a question? Laramie runs 800 games. Yeah. I won't. Oh, I see. I'm ignoring your games. If I could just get there on time. Hearing a lot of feedback as people turn to cons, which is awesome to hear, as cons were such a key part of our community. Pre what you know what. Yeah. Carl makes anyone love that system. Indeed. Arkham's Most Solid Book. There you go. Another endorsement from Harrigan. Oh man, there's booze at the bottom of Sean's shelf. There's like one bottle. I got rid of the other stuff. I don't need booze hanging around my house. I gotta too tempting. Not that I'm on the wagon by any means. It's just, plus I'm not a big whiskey drinker, honestly. It's all right. I'm going through the chat. It's gone out for mixers. It's 5 somewhere. No judgment. Yeah, yeah, right. It's like, hey man, anyone up for bloodies? Yeah. If you just join and I was like incognito, yeah. Am I using Apple TV to bookend his Free League bookshelf? My like an old Mac. That's not just sitting around doing nothing. So, let's see. I haven't delved too much into it, Laramie. It's a different type of. Some people I've heard aren't big fans of the Monster Overhaul, and then there's some that really love it and appreciate it. So it's kind of the mentality right up front in the book. The author's like, this is not your typical monster manual. So if you're looking for a typical monster manual, this is not it. This is to help the game master present monsters in an interesting way, right? So could be an environment, could be some type of adventure hook, maybe their characteristics and what they're doing. What's his name's? I can't remember. The monsters know what they're doing is fantastic. It's really 5e, but I think you can incorporate it into any fantasy RPG. Keith's first name, second name, I can't remember, but those books are good. I would recommend those two as well. It's modeled after Jacko, yeah. Mark Jacko Jackson, yeah, he's interesting. Blake knows him. Yeah, there you go. He's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Didn't Hoos bring the whiskey? He did. He did bring it to the soiree. And he did give me the bottles in years past. Yes. I mean, I'll drink whiskey, of course. I mean, but I'm not a whiskey connoisseur. I drink it on special occasions, and those special occasions are usually when somebody brings it to a party and says, hey, here, have a snort. So there you go. Let's do question of the day. So that was my GameholeCon. Great convention. Oh, so takeaways. Organized plays at a convention, not for Sean. 8 a.m. games, forget about it. Thirdly, Phil McClory, God damn it, if you say a single peep, I'm going to ban you out of this channel. Don't rely on technology when you're running a convention game. I had my notes in Notion, and then I'm like, well, Notion, that's fine. You got to be online. I'm sure it'll be fine. I could use Hotspot. It's not a big deal. I'm telling you, I tried to text on the public Wi-Fi at the venue, and I mean, it was a picture I was sending. So most of the times, if you send a picture, it kind of goes, right? Using even cell data. This, you could see the clock, and it would take literally like 2 minutes to send an attachment via text on the Wi-Fi. It was redonkulous. So just if you're going to use something, just download it, keep it local, and call it a day. So there it is. Look at him. He's just so there you go. Yeah, Jacko the battery guy. That's the one. Too funny. Let's see. All right, as you guys as I catch up in the chat, let's talk about question of the day. What is your most recent role-playing game that you've received via crowdfunding? What's the most recent one you've received via crowdfunding? Some of you might not have received one in a while. I know I haven't. I'm trying to think of what mine was actually, which one I received the most recent via crowdfunding. So just curious, like the most recent one. If you know what, if you make a mistake and it wasn't the most recent because something came after, but you had stated the other one, that's okay. It's okay. Who says good taste in the whiskey department? I cannot lie. Down with VTT, pencil and paper for life. This guy. Phil, here's the deal, dude. Here's the deal. You can't bang on technology, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to play games with each other for the last 2 years, dude. You wouldn't be able to. So, come on now. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Oh, I did. All right. I forget. Oh my God, how could I forget that? Maybe I missed that Sean also played in Mirko's Outgun game. Yes, I did. I apologize to Mirko and the gang that was there. That was fun. That was on Sunday. See, I usually don't play Sundays. Usually Sundays I'm out of there by noon. But the last couple cons I've stayed and hung out. So Sunday, Mirko, Digital Hobbit, ran Outgunned, and I've played in his Outgunned games before, and so this was a different scenario. It's the B team, not the A team. This is the B team, and that was fun. The gang was like typical, Gabe was the wheel person in their van. What is that? What the hell? It was a beer van, right? They used a beer van as their cover. With a teardrop window in the back, right? The bubbled teardrop as a window in the back. And Gabe's character played like the wheel person, I think, even if it wasn't formal. Female, right, Gabe? Like smoke all the time. The back of the van was filled with beer cans, crushed beer cans, because as they drive around, they drink beer and crush them and throw them in the back. So every time they open the sliding door, beer can like trickles out onto the ground. There was Hoos, the agent, pretty 80s, suave, debonair kind of agent. Harrigan played kind of a commando agent type. Let's see. So who else did I miss? Kristen played. What did Kristen play? His character. Can't remember. Shoot. It's Kristen, Harrigan, Hoos, Gabe. Who am I missing? I know I'm missing one. Someone else is in there. And then myself. And I played the nobody, right? The guy who gets thrown into the mix. Now, so the way that I approached it was I never wanted to start in the scene. I wasn't part of the B team. So I was just the guy who would show up. And so it starts out, not to give spoilers, but just to get you guys an understanding, is it starts out at the person who owns a car mechanic shop is enlisting the B team. And they go there and get the lowdown. And as they go there, I show up from a rental car place to get a rental car fixed. And that's the mechanic. I take the place. So I'm kind of standing around as these guys are doing their thing. And then all hell breaks loose. And then fast forward, they kidnap me. We separate. They dump me on the side of the road. Fast forward, there's another scene, and I'm gonna show up as like the pizza guy, and recognize the party as recognize the B team. Like, wait a minute, oh no, not you guys again, right? Like get thrown into the mix. So that was fun. I like that. It was fun. Good time. Good game. Less is more, indeed. Fair enough. Let's see. Do PDFs count on the... sure, yes. Well, yes, I guess. If you want to count a PDF, that's fine. I guess I could have specified, right? What is the last printed crowdfunding RPG, printed RPG received from a crowdfunding campaign? But PDFs I will accept. Like, do supplements count? Yes, supplements count. RPG related item. My God, you guys. What got a bunch of attorneys in the chat room or what? Well, you didn't say like supplements. That's fine. Reading Aid says X-Crawl Classics is actually arriving today. I will accept that. Played a Brendan LaSalle X-Crawl at the con. Lots of fun. Yeah. I don't think I've played in one of his games. It should be on one of my lists. Hey, Roger, good to see you. I got X-Crawl Classics and Shadow of the Weird Wizard last week. All right, there you go. And they're the next ones up to get to the table, right? Blake says Castle Twilight Dragonbane Adventure. Frankly, I think the most recent crowdfunding campaign that I might have received would have been Don't Pay the Ferryman, right? From Blake. Might have been, actually. I think it might have been. Shout out to Blake's RPG Zone. Tyler, good to see you. The Electric State. Okay, all right. Jason says crowdfunder mothership box. Oh, okay. Kind of gives us an understanding of where you are on the spectrum of crowdfunding. Todd says, well, because it's been so long since I actually received something, I'm going to go with Witch Fated Souls 2E because it's on its way. Fair enough. I will accept that. Phil says Fever Swamp. Sounds like a drink. Yes, I'll take a test tube of Fever Swamp, please. Let's see, I have sex on the beach. Fever Swamp. Harrigan says Electric State. Mine was a little delayed because otherwise XCC and Shadow of the Weird Wizard. Okay, so Shadow of the Weird Wizard's making its rounds. Scoundrels of Brixton, Phantoms of Unov Zine. None. Me broke. RPG Exile. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You don't have to crowdfund RPGs to have a good time in the hobby. So no worries. You got to live to play RPGs. If you have money and you have to use that money to live, then you play RPGs. You can't spend all your money on RPGs and then not live. Starve to death. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So, it's all right with me, RPG Exile. Orcus Dorcas says Ronin, or Ronin, mythical samurai Mork board game. Oh, yeah, we've brought that up on the stream before. Don't Pay the Ferryman by Blake. Yep, that's it. There's Gabe. Ms. T, former Soviet. Yes, that's Gabe's character in the Outgun game he's referring to. Yeah, Shambot says Don't Pay the Ferryman by Blake as well for me. There you go. Matty Q, good to see you. Edwin was the other guy. Edwin played, I can't remember what he played. Like the type of character. Thanks, Hoos. Daryl says none yet. Thought about funding Broken Empires, but they're still writing it, and at least a year ago. Edwin forgot. Yeah, okay. Kristen was the criminal. He saved you. Yes, he did. Well, he was in disguise. I just don't remember all the archetypes everybody was playing. That's right. He did save me. Well, I knew that, but I didn't know what character he was playing. So he got disguised up and was playing one of the people in the warehouse. Edwin was all snipery. That's true. That's right. It's all coming back to me. Ryan says Delver 15 and Rune 4 zines. All right, some zines love. Don't be such a digitalist. Too funny. Well, if we count PDFs, I just got the Axe 2 PDFs last night. So Axe Adventure Conquer King 2. Does my credit card bill for Kickstarter from the other month count? Sure. Shambot says otherwise it would be Glimmerlight N zine from Germany. Laramie, well, Sean, I don't remember the last game I got in the mail, but I got End of Everything 2 days before the con. Perfect timing since I ran part of it there. I refer you to the case of the community versus the deserted island question from months back where it was actually a discussion on loopholes. What if I brought a crate of games on a boat? Right? That's, yeah. Brendan LaSalle should be on everyone's celeb GM list for cons. Indeed. And I've been to I don't know if he's been to every GameholeCon, but he's been to a lot of them. Never played in one of his games. And they've had 11 GameholeCons. And then I've been to GaryCon, and in which case I think Brendan has been there probably close to almost all of them. And I think GaryCon's on I think they were 3 years in before Gamehole, so they're probably up to 15, GaryCon 15. Never played in a Brendan LaSalle game. So, yeah. Sean's going on but I haven't been to all of the GaryCons. I've probably been to at least 8 or 9. So 18 cons that Brendan LaSalle has probably been at and never played in one of his games. You should play in one of his games. Yeah, okay. Sometime. Hobbs can't remember. Fever Swamp is on its way then. There you go. Matt says, yeah, that's me. Teacher salary equals less money for RPGs. That's all right. Again, no judgment here. Blake says, Black 57 Kickstarters only got hard copies for 2. Shipping is expensive. Spire. Got the big map and Codex Gauntlet. Blake's over in Australia. We're spoiled here in the U.S. No question. Playing with Brendan could help your GMing. Hobbs is my biggest constructive criticizer. I got some good criticism this week on GMing. I'm taking it in. I'm going to be more conscious of it. But first run games for me, I apologize up front to anybody that's ever and it's probably game. I don't not as much as a scenario, but definitely the game. My latest game purchase is actually a new dining room table that's arriving today. That's nothing wrong to have something to play on. All right. I think everybody's chimed in. I think mine was Don't Pay the Ferryman. Most recent edition from Blake was the most recent arrival. Pretty sure. Yeah. All right. Shall we get into something like a topic talking about RPGs or something? That would probably be good.
Right.
All right. Let's start with RPG news. RPG news. Get through some cranking through some of this stuff. First one, if you haven't gotten the lowdown on this, Planet of the Cyclops Con. So this is an online virtual DCC-centric, DCC and MCC, but Goodman Games-centric online convention. If you guys haven't looked at this, it's coming November 23rd and 24th of 2024 in the year of our Lord. In the year of our Lord. And it's online, virtual. So if you want to run games, knock yourself out. If you want to partake as a player, knock yourself out. Let me see. It's being run through tabletop events. So if you have experience through BSRCon, speaking of which, that's a whole other topic, then you'll be familiar with how this sign up works. It looks like if badge sales event for judges is now live, I'm trying to buy badges. It's like $5 a badge. It's cheaper than BSRCon. I better get competitive. 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time, Saturday, and then Saturday 11 p.m. That doesn't make any sense. To 10:45 p.m. They might have screwed that up. Dates: Saturday 7 to 11, and then 11 to 10:45 p.m. Backwards. Small detail. It's probably Sunday, the 24th, maybe, from 11 a.m. to 10:45 p.m. Or it is genuinely 11 p.m. Saturday night to Sunday, 10:45 a.m. Dudes, I don't know. You guys figure it out. Okay. Come on. Of course. Come on. Keyboard. Oh. There you go. Next up. That is not next up. Oh, come on. I'm using this new thing. New thing. Hasbro's Q3 report shows decline in D&D revenue despite 2024 launch. Yeah, just something to touch on. I know I don't really like to cover a lot of 5e stuff, but the numbers and things of that nature can be interesting. And is it going to impact much of the RPG hobby? Probably won't impact much of us. And probably won't even impact, honestly, the 5.5, 6th edition D&D players, whatever is the new version. But their total revenue dropped 15% year over year. They did have a couple layoffs as well, which I'm not going to bring up formally, but they have recently. But I think it was like 3 people. Not that should be like, oh, it's only 3 people. I say that only to say that it isn't 100 or 300. But they did have some layoffs. They promoted Chris Perkins to oversee kind of D&D as the product owner, which was filled previously by Mike Merles before Mike had moved over to Magic the Gathering. There you go. What else is new here? There's some numbers in here. While gaming revenue saw a slight uptick, up 3% year to date, but down 6% in Q3. They didn't mention much about the D&D numbers. They did mention Magic, conveniently enough. Wizards of the Coast saw a 5% revenue decrease in Q3 2024 compared to the same quarter last year, largely due to the absence of Baldur's Gate 3 revenue, which had significantly boosted earnings in 2023. Many hoped the 2024 Player's Handbook would help soften this decline, but it seems the latest release hasn't compensated for the drop. So there you go. There you go. If you like numbers and all that good stuff, forecasts and outlooks and stock prices, and just something to be aware of. Next one I thought was interesting. Zweihander, what? Changes hands again. As Daniel Fox, who is the person behind it originally, buys his own game back from the world of game design. So Zweihander was done, I think it says in here, with Andrew McMeel, not to be confused with McNeil. So it's McMeal, like as in I eat a meal, except it's EEL. The more you know. So they backed out of RPGs, and then the world of game design. And if you haven't Googled those, I brought this up, I think, with you, Harrigan, at the con. World of game design, if you look them up and you Google them, they do game design, they do conventions, so they run conventions. They had a presence at GameholeCon, so they will run game. Like if you have an RPG company and you want to outsource all your stuff, World of Game Design does a lot of it. They will do game design and mechanics and all that stuff. I think they may be doing distribution. I'm not sure. They will run con games for your company and run your games at conventions. They will man your booths at conventions and do a bunch of other stuff. So they had purchased from Andrews McMeel Zweihander. And now Daniel D. Fox, which is SLLSWRD Publishing. It's Sellsword without any vowels. Publishing, which is led by Daniel Fox, has bought the game back. So there you go. Anybody play Zweihander? You know Zweihander peeps? Did I put this link in the chat? There it is. Maybe cheaper, but BSRCon brings the value. Heyo. You got to pick your brains about BSRCon. Maybe this is not the place, but who knows? Are we getting a reforged edition next? Maybe. Is it Grim and Perilous? It is, apparently. I see it on sale everywhere, but haven't seen anyone play it. I have Zweihander not played it, says Daryl. I owned it, I got rid of it. I got it for super cheap. It was like $30 on like Amazon, and the thing is a beast. So, as I've said before, and it's not a secret, it gets flack for being a war very close to Warhammer. All right, so let's see. That was RPG news. Don't just forget to subscribe and like, folks. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Yeah. Like or subscribe. Or dislike and unsubscribe. Don't do that. Let's get into... What should we get into? What is going on here, man? RPG news. Bundles. Let's get into bundles. Bundles! Some of these are going to be something you got to jump on relatively quick. Weird Frontiers. Friend David Beatty's game. So if you got Weird Frontiers, great. If you don't, then this is one you got to pick up in PDF. So Weird Frontiers using DCC RPG at its core. It's a Weird West game. For $6 US, you get all 3 titles in this Revived Offers starter collection, which is retail's only at 23, which is kind of odd. I thought it would be more anyways. I think it's because of the PDF retail price is 18. And then the bonus collection is 5 Weird Frontier modules, which typically retail at 50 total. And you kick in extra for that. So I think you got to kick in more than like 18 or 20 bucks. So there you go. Yeah, PDF for Weird Frontiers is a way to go. 2 hardcovers will cost you $120, not including shipping. Yeah, they're beasts for sure. They are beasts. And then the other one that I wanted to bring up was Fate of Cthulhu. Kind of right on time for the scary Halloween season here in the U.S. Fate of Cthulhu core book and 9 terrifying future timelines. There you go. Anybody play Fate of Cthulhu? Fate of Cthulhu. I have Weird Frontiers, not played that either. Have no modules, but think I'll pass on the bundle. Fair enough. I've played it once when it was, before it was released. Dave ran it for us at GaryCon. It was really good. All right. Let's get into print news, shall we? Print news? Yeah. Got to play Weird Frontiers once, loved it. Weird Frontiers for BSRCon? What? You offering, Hobbsy? Nope, never played any Fate. Read it, didn't resonate with me. I have the WF hardcover. You could bludgeon someone to death. Weird Frontiers hardcover. You could bludgeon someone to death with that book. Oh, for sure. If you can lift it. It's big. It is big, big. Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for joining. I played some one session of Zweihander Flames of Freedom. I think it's cool, but it needs a certain group of players. Fair enough. I heard if you have writing credit, you have to run it for people. You have writing credit for it, Hobbs? You better get out on that, buddy. All right, let's get print news. All right. Some of these things might have come up in crowdfunding campaigns and previous streams, so now you'll know that they're available and you can go and purchase them if you didn't get in on the crowdfunding. But not all of them were crowdfunded. Nonetheless, here we go. First one, Wind Wraith by Lazy Lich. OSR, hardcover supplement, $40. Toolkit used to generate fantasy post-apocalypse ocean world, complete with scattered islands, factions, ships, and ancient arcane machines. Any OSR buffs in the chat get that? Home Reforged by Soul Muppet Publishing, based on The Black Hack. Softcover rulebook. PC's explore trying to reclaim and rebuild their long-lost homes as part of a company of dwarves. Got some Black Hack fans, or fan. Harrigan says, yes, I have. Harrigan gets a lot of RPGs, folks. I'll get Beatty too. Oh, that'd be awesome. He could be our guest of honor. We haven't had a guest of honor at BSRCon. All right, moving along. Between the Skies, collected hardcover edition, Exalted Funeral, hardcover core book, $50. PCs travel and explore across wondrous worlds and planes. The GM has a wealth of resources to draw from, along with a guide to play. Includes over 200 tables, in-depth advice, and flexible procedures to create worlds, characters, creatures, factions, events, adventures, gods, daemons, objects, and happenings. There you go. The end of everything. I know we brought that up. That's Alex Kammer. Alex Kammer, head of GameholeCon, probably GameholeCon Publishing as well. And Alan Patrick. 5th edition hardcover supplement. This is the King in Yellowish adventure, I remember, that was crowdfunded. So it's out there now in print. A couple 5e things from The World of Kensei and Scroll of Wukong by Riot Minds, which is 5th edition. Dream Machines, Modifius Entertainment. Dreams and Machines. Sorry, not Dreams Machines. Dreams or machines. It's dreams and machines. And it's not dream and machine. It's dreams and machines. Plural on both. Many of. $50 there. Built as a technologically advanced paradise, every aspect of the city of Emerda included beautiful boulevards and idyllic homes. But when the Builders' War broke out, the city became brutal and bloody battlegrounds as the mechs that had once supported life obliterated it with ruthless efficiency and single-minded purpose. Brought to light by Pelgrim Press, Swords of the Serpentine. A one-shot features 4 one-shot adventures, including pre-generated characters. Clever name Wayne was nice enough to run Swords of the Serpentine for us. Any award-winning Swords of the Serpentine. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all I got for print news. $50. Ouch. Which one was that? I'm behind. Which one was the $50? The Dreams and Machines? All right, next up, let's see. You know what the usual last segment is? Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding. It's not crowd unfunding. It's crowdfunding. Let's check in on some, right? How about this one? Survey says 10,000 backers. One of you might have backed this. Discworld. Party on. Excellent. Discworld. Yep, that's right. I want to completely get that in your brain whenever you see this. Discworld. See, there he goes. First one, Blake. Yep, I did. I love the novels. I'm getting in on it. I've never read them. $1.8 million. Pledged of $129,000. $129,610 goal. Discworld growing. It's got 12 days to go. I did not get on this. By Modifius. They changed something. I've read an article where they changed some things about the crowdfunding campaign. I don't remember what they are. It's in Geek. Oh, I forgot to put the print news link in there, I think. Here. I think Geek Native had a link. Talking about some of the changes that had occurred. And you can get the quick start on this now if you want to check it out. It is not 2D20. In case you wanted to know. Next is this one. Here we go. Conan, $263,000 for the new version of Conan, the Hyborian Age. 1,800 backers, still has 10 days to go, being kickstarted out of Paris, France. It's not 2D20, Sean's audience size with relief. Gabe is, I mentioned this on previous streams, a big fan of the Conan 2D20 game and has run it for a few of us, actually on the in the chat and on the Discord server, and he's keeping up with this one. But it is a different game, and to his point, this is also not 2D20, and it's not Modifius either, right? Whoops. And all right. Orcus Dorcas says, read the quick start for Conan. Not sure if I like it or not. Need to run it. All right. EN World, summing up some of the ones in the last few days of their campaigns. So Grim Hollow Transformed, coming to Kickstarter October 1st, 2024, which obviously is come and gone. This ends Friday, November 1st by Ghostfire Gaming. Most popular pledge is 195 bones. So some of the Ghostfire guys were at GameholeCon. They're at 652,000. They do quite a bit of the 5e. They work at the 5e space. So there you go. There's the Conan one. That's ending November 5th. This is being recorded October 26th, just as a frame of reference. The Broken Empires by YouTuber Evo Baby Entertainment, by the creator of Me, Myself, and Die. So Broken Empires, this thing's funded too. I think I saw, $407,000. I don't know is this the first thing he's ever published? Does anybody know? It might be. 407 grand on a 10K goal. And the creator is Trevor Duvall, for those of you in the know or not know. Congratulations to Trevor. The Between by The Gauntlet, powered by Brindlewood Bay. That thing is, I know, funded on backer kit. 206,000. So congratulations to Jason Cordova and the team at The Gauntlet. It does ring to me. It sounds very Penny Dreadful, which intrigues me, but I don't know if I'll ever get it to the table. Curseborn tabletop role-playing game from Onyx Path. Core rulebook. It's the Story Path Ultra system. If you're familiar with Onyx Path and World of Darkness stuff, this probably isn't too far astray from that. That's published. Then that's at 164,000, a 30K goal. Salvage Union. This had been up before, but this is the starter set. So this funded in 2 hours. Not that matters. This ends November 5th. Simple D20 variable resolution mechanic powered by the Quest RPG mechanics that you find there. 50 quid is the most popular pledge. So some of the folks that might have got on at Salvage Union, the original, may want to pick this up. I don't know. Maybe you don't have a need for a starter kit once you have the original game. It's kind of backwards, right? Sometimes we do that. Put out the game, then do a starter set. Roger says, I'm all in on the Broken Empires. Yeah? Back that to played for 24 sessions. I'm going to guess you're talking about the Brindlewood Bay game, right? The Between, right, Blake? I'm guessing, right? Long-time gamer, first game, I think. Just downloaded the Conan, the Hyborian Age Quick Start, which puts me in the lead for most recently acquired crowdfunded TTRPG door prize per Sean's Loophole Laden question of the day. Roger. Yeah, definitely Penny Dreadful inspired. Got to vote for the Salvage Union. Marching Order Curse and Coin Edition from Crumbling Creek. The original system core rulebook, $195 most popular pledge. Wow. This is the second edition of the solo co-op game. Coming as a box set, you'll get a great physical box to store the rules, scenarios, cards, tokens, dice, and more. This game allows for random dungeon generation and great solo gaming options as a dark fantasy rogue. You're looking for a coin to survive upon. 58K of a 15K goal. There you go. 6 days to go. Split the Horde by EN Publishing, which means this is probably the last one, right, on the list. Split the Horde competitive card game. That's it. That is all, folks. Warhammer 4E was like that first game, then quick start. That's like a trend, like, right? D&D, Pathfinder, none of them come out with the starter set first. Blade Runner came out with the game and the starter set at the same time. So it's not a huge deal, but I'm sure there's some method to the madness. Monster of the Week, Slayer Survival Kit Hunter's Journal, 109,000 of 50K. Did we go over that? I missed a week, so there were a few crowdfunding campaigns that probably ended since last week. In the week, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay starter set is exceptional, though. It's not just a watered-down set of rules, some dice, and an adventure you only play once. I do have an appreciation for some of the starter sets that Free League puts out, because it's like the full game. It just strips out all the things that you don't need necessarily. So they're great reference pieces to have at the table. 2024, The Rise of the Solo RPG. I think you're a year late, Hobbs. I think it started last year. New Vasen's Kickstarter drops this week. Oh, it does. The 2. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was this week already. Holy cow. TOA books should get shipped in November. Super curious to try it with the book. Mason will be putting out a starter set. At least that's what they said at Gamehole. Did they really? Interesting. I'm terrified what those Vasen shipping fees will look like. Poor Phil. Yeah. Halloween is not too far around the corner. I'm reading the Dare. Harrigan said he wanted to know my thoughts. I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I don't read the grammar and punctuation or issues. I see some kind of quirks and like it seems relatively heavy-handed maybe. I would probably do some. I don't know. I think people would enjoy it, I guess, as a one-shot. Darrow says basic D&D is almost a quick start when covering first few levels. Yeah. Well, here, look, I want to say something. I want to ask you guys this because Darrow and Analytic Dice. If you don't listen to Analytic Dice podcast, go check them out. Gabe Dibbing in the chat is one of the co-hosts. And what they spurred this, and I thought I mentioned it briefly on one stream a couple weeks ago or a week before. Maybe I didn't. But one of the things I have down on my list of topics to cover or get to is quick start. Quick start, starter set, those two. Is there a difference? And are quick starts actually quick start? Like, how do you define what a quick start is? And is one better than the other, and why? And I'm talking about like game setting and mechanics aside. Like setting them aside is this, like when you get it and you're like, oh, this is a quick start. This says it's a quick start, but it really isn't. Like I'm really wanting to get into that because I think there's tons of them that are like, it's quick start. Yeah, I don't know if it really is. Right? And thanks, Daryl, for bringing that up because I wanted to. There is a like starter set and quick start. I will say this: if there's are they synonymous? Like, well, some people call it a starter set and some people call it quick start, but they're both the same. Like in some instances they are, but maybe they shouldn't be. Phil, Kristen is from Halifax. And you should have saw I think he posted pictures on the Discord on his swag, but I totally get why. Because like he's just buying everything at Gamehole because he could probably save like $400 in shipping. So totally get why he would clean house, if you will. I need some more analytic dice in my consumption. I'm looking forward to Burning Wheel. The Burnings of the Wheel episode. Oh boy, is that going to be a good one. Orca says, I ran the Dare this month. Great fun, but an absolutely horrible layout and disorganized mess of a book. Oh, indeed. Really? Interesting. It is. Like, I did find that, like, hey, starting out, bloop, and then it gets in, like, to something else, like, chronologically. RPGs, linear or non-linear, but it's in book format. Like, yeah. Had to essentially reorganize the entire scenario. It's almost like get a PDF, print all the pages, because it's a module, so it's not like a 300 per page rule book, and then reorganize them and then put them in a binder. Take out the page numbers. Starter set equals for people with less gaming experience. Quick start for more experienced GMs. That's it. That's all she wrote. Blake's got it. Boom, bam, done. Which is fine. That's a pretty good definition. I like it. But does everybody adhere to it? Is probably the question. Ashcan. Oh man, haven't heard the Ashcan for a while. I think Ashcan is beta, right? Isn't that alpha and beta? I always pictured Ashcan as alpha or beta versions of games. Yeah, Ashcan still in playtest, not final version of that edition. If I recall, Ashcan's different. Early version of the game, usually not complete. Yeah. These people beat me to it. Pathfinder 1E Beginner Box remains the standard bearer for delivering on the promise of diving right in on a fairly complex system with all the tools you need. Well, that's the problem with delving into that topic is now like, do I have to buy like 20 starter sets? Saltheart, there he is. Guy behind one of the people behind the Smurfs RPG. Smurfing good time. Is that still kickstarting? Is that still crowdfunding, Kevin, or is it over? Good morning, all in Minneapolis for a conference. Can't stay on. Wanted to smurf a hello to all. Look, he's trying to the product placement in that quote. I hope you get to see your co-host. There is a fantastic adventure angle, but oof, that book. The first mothership was an ash can. Okay, there you go. Topic suggestion. Should an RPG rulebook be organized to read cover to cover or as a reference book? Ooh, that's a good one. I have thoughts of, I mentioned this before, especially scenarios. I don't know about rule books, but definitely scenarios. Scenarios, like we're stuck in the book, right? Stuck in the book. And you know that nothing is linear in a scenario. I mean, they can be, but then we'll complain it's a railroad. So you gotta have that's why I'm messing with some of these productivity pieces of software, and a few come by default, which is something Notion doesn't, which is interesting, but many come with the cloud piece, the mind mapping version. So as you create the relationships, you just click on a button and it just shows the mind map automatically. And, running a scenario like that would be, all right, where'd he go? Right. You've got the forks. Buy 20 starter sets for your stream. Tax write-off. Boom, bam. Right. 20 tax write-off off of no money that I generate. But good idea. I like where you're going, Tyler. I like how you think. D&D Red Box is a starter set. Question mark. Sorry. Let me reread that by Ryan West. D&D Red Box is a starter set? I don't know. Later today, they're meeting up. All right. Good news. Hope he gives you a present. He gave me a present when I met with him, and I'm not even his co-host. No pressure, Kev. A meeting of the AD. Recording together? Like face to face. Well, I'm not keen on crowdfunding in Ashcan. Yeah. Cypher system presents a scenario and then keys, which I like a lot. You are operating at a loss? Yes, probably. I volunteer my time. I'm a volunteer. I'm an RPG volunteer. That's what I do here. No, just meeting in person for the first time. Fair enough. Recording face-to-face is a whole nother ordeal. I get it. Quick start versus starter set. Was this a quick start? No. I think we could definitely say starter sets can be quick starts, but they're usually not. And to Blake's point, if he says, well, a quick start is for somebody who's played RPGs and can understand and grok them, then if that's the case, then a quick start cannot be a starter set, right? Had to throw that in for Eileen. I don't know if I'm running like Shadowdark in like 10 minutes or an hour. I think Ryan was getting a party together. Are we playing, Ryan? I should probably find out. You gotta know where you guys are going. Shambot's in too, I think, right? I think we only had 3 people. Oh, sad face. All right, well, we'll do it again another time. Sounds good. All right. It'll be our new thumbnail for AD, a duo pick. Oh, I heard that's been overdone. Too funny. Duo pick. That was changed later. I will say it was changed later. Just saying. Delta Green, I'm hopefully running that. I am running it this Thursday. Maybe it finishes. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Then I don't know what I'm going to run. Phil McClure in the chat has been running the One Ring 2nd edition. We had session 2 this past Thursday. That was good fun. Interested to know what's next in that group too, or how long are you going for that, Phil? I wonder. Aaron, good to see you. I feel like only consistent difference is marketing. Quick start markets to people who want to play today. Starter kit markets to people who are a little nervous for whatever reason. I think there's a couple things, right? For sure. I think those 2 pieces are certainly can be considered, the differences between the 2 for sure. Blake says, I say starter sets are for those with less RPG experience because they are designed for public sale. Walmart, example. But a quick start is less polished visually and condensed for more experienced. Maybe. Get on some Outcast Silver Raiders. All right, I can run that for you guys. I'll be willing to do that if you guys are up for it. That probably hits a lot of them in the group, right? I know Harrigan would probably be down with that. Wayne probably would be, I'm guessing. I'm only saying that because it's OSR-ish. Phil says, I think the One Ring wraps next week, certain in the next 2. Depends on what the companions do, for sure. Outcast for great. Have you run it yet, Ryan? Hobbs says, I'm crashing that party. That's where I like get the, loosen up the joints, get that squared away. Because now it's going to be different if I run out. So for those of you not familiar with Outcast Silver Raiders, you can Google it, but it's an OSR game. It's target number. So there's ability checks, which is target number 6 on a D6. So it's D6 plus your mod, your ability mod. Standard ability array: strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, charisma. And saves are D10 on a target number 10 on a D10. Yeah. I think I have that right. there's a few skills. And it's a hex crawl. It's not West Marches, but it's a hex crawl. And the West Marches can be a hex crawl. So it's got a predefined setting, but the kind of mantra of the setting is that it's not where things are in motion. And despite what the characters do, these things in the world are taking place in the background. They stipulate that anything that happens in the world is going to be based upon what the characters do. And they're called outcasts. And it's a very overzealous, it's kind of a knockoff of England back in the, 12th century or something like that. England, 14th century England. I get my centuries mixed up. But, the church reigns supreme, and, any magic that is done is dark and punishable. It's got that kind of edgy. If you think Merkborg is too much and maybe just standard BX is not enough, there lies Outcast Silver Raiders. As far as kind of like, how do you put it, the dark grim, if you will. Scarcity checks are brilliant. I have adopted some of the mechanics, but not run it as written yet. Okay. So there you go. We'll see. But other than that, that's kind of it. That's what I've got going on for gaming. That's what I got for gaming. So, yeah, let's end this sucker, right? I want to thank all these fine individuals for supporting me with a few coin each month. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. I want to thank you for showing up this week. We had a good group. Got some new names there, things of that nature. I'd like to see some new folks joining. Thanks so much for joining. And if you want to come and hang out on the Discord, you'll see some of the people in chat on the Discord. You're certainly welcome. There was a question I think I saw last minute. Anyone running Halloween games tonight? By Takoi. I want to run the Dare, but I don't know. I always say yes, I'm going to run a Halloween themed game, and then it escapes me. Like it just poof goes bye-bye. Oops. So I don't know if I'm going to do it myself. But have a good Halloween, in a few days. If you've got the kiddies, I want to jump up. I want to get a blue, dark navy blue, like coveralls and a Michael Myers mask. And I have a real machete. Funny, weird, RPG related. The machete I won at GaryCon. So one GaryCon, they had a silent auction, I think, or something. I don't know. I got in a drawing and I won. One of the attendees makes them. So I won a machete. I have that sucker, and it is sharp, and it's like carbon black. And yeah, I go and whack down my hostas in the fall. Can you link your Discord? I think I can. I don't have it up. Let me create an invite and put it in the chat. So yes, I will put it, Daryl. I'll put it down in the notes below. If you want to come back, if you don't mind coming back, I'll put it down below once it's done recording. I'll go back and edit it and put a Discord link. We've had issues with spammers and bots joining, so I'll have it like expire in a week. So if it doesn't work after this in a week, oh, you did find it. Okay, then never mind. I won't put it in there. Shambot says I'm going to try to run a little Halloween game tonight. That depends on the crowd. Very nice. News already for the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. So anyways, thank you so much for everybody that joined. I really appreciate it. I've said this in the past. I couldn't do this without you guys. I mean, I could, but it would look really silly just talking to myself. But nonetheless, the interaction from the chat is just hugely invaluable. And I love what you guys put in there and get to know what you guys are doing and playing and buying and all of the things. So thank you so much. And be a positive force in the RPG hobby. spend some time with yourself, play some games, be well. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next week, Saturday, 8 a.m. right here. Thanks. See ya.